Well, Dark Days, and then it culminated in you parting ways with Napalm Records. Short question about it. When did you get the feeling, well, we have to part?
Well, I think all of us had the idea, had the idea for a while that they didn't really understand what we wanted to do.
How did you know? How did you feel it?
Well, I don't know. They were very particularly enthusiastic to meet us, or I think we must have invited them multiple times, like to come to a show, or this is very specific examples, but we also, offer like, hey, we're gonna be nearby, so why don't we drop by, to the office, to get to know you, to talk, whatever. So they were never really very open to that kind of thing, and the fact that they never saw us live, I also thought that was a very big shame, because I think if that you don't really know the band until you've seen it live. That's what we're mostly about. So yeah, we had already actually ever since, actually for a few years now, the feeling that maybe we didn't have the same perspective as to what the band should be or what it should sound like.
What did they say when you said that you wanted to separate?
I think they understood, because we had already pitched a demo with some of the songs for a War of Our Own to them, and they weren't particularly excited about it or anything. So when we heard their response, and I think they already knew that we were interested in looking to some other options.
Well, the other option that came, is crowdfunding with Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Why crowdfunding? Why not looking for another record company or?
Well, we did
Okay.
look for. We had other options, but at some point, nothing felt really, really great. And of course, crowdfunding is a really big risk, but we'd seen it work for other artists or other bands. I'm a big fan of Amanda Palmer, and she just had her huge campaign where she gathered $1.5 million. So we saw that it works. And we thought, like, why not? Let's take the risk and see what happens.
And what did it do to you? Because, you needed 25,000.
Yeah.
And you got over 40,000.
Yeah, almost 44. Yeah.
Can you describe what the feeling was when you first got to 25 and then?
It was incredible. It was really heartwarming and really inspiring, and I can't even put it in words, but you must imagine that we had just come from this situation where you got the feeling like, shit, we're not getting the support that we need, and this label is really not, doesn't really understand us, like, damn, and then you're like, well, what are we gonna do? We felt really stuck, and then you have this other side of the story, with people. I think it must have been, I think it was 11 days into the campaign, and we had already reached our goal of 25,000. So it was like, it was a big reassurance. It was a great feeling.
Because what did it tell you?
Well, basically that there are people that believe in us and that want to keep us going, and that's basically all. It's what it's all about, actually.
Well, the second song on the album is also the album title. It's called A War of Our Own. Can you describe how the song started?
Well, that song in particular is a song that we co-wrote with Daniel Cardoso from Anathema. It's a little bit business-ish, actually, because we got the same publisher and we got in touch through him, and he said, like, oh, well, I got the song, and maybe it's something for you. And so I received it, and then I started working on it, and then we eventually, did our own Stream of Passion thing on it. But that's it. It's a very, very business format.
Yeah, but the thing is, the album title is called A War of Our Own, and it's called, why did you call the album this way then?
Well, The lyrics of the song in particular, it's one of the songs on the album that's inspired on the situation in Mexico, and particularly my old hometown, Monterrey. It's a city in the northeast of Mexico, and it's one of the places that has been the most affected by all this drug wars, criminality, and violence. So I read tweets and posts on Facebook and messages from my friends. It happens a lot that for instance, I hear gunshots when they're at home, and I got this feeling that there's this fear going on people. It's not the old place I used to call home, but there's this anxiousness, to go outside. Maybe you don't go outside at night because you are afraid that something might happen. So that's basically the idea behind the song, and why we decided to make it the album title. It's because, well, most of the tracks, they deal with some kind of battle, with some kind of struggle, be it that the problems in Mexico or personal struggles against disease or depression, all those kinds of things. So the underlying message of the album is that the power and the strength to overcome all these things lies beneath us, within us. So we all got our little wars. So to say.
But I think you also, as a band, you had your war. You had a war to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it done on purpose, or was it in hindsight that you said, well, maybe it's also about ourselves?
It's definitely a little bit about ourselves as well. Yeah, for sure. There's that was a very big source of inspiration. The doubts that we had in the beginning, and the not feeling all that very positive about the future of the band, and then seeing how all our doubts, our negative thoughts were washed away by the incredible support that we received from our fans. It's definitely there as well.
Well, you said about in the beginning of the interview the differences between people in Holland and in Mexico.
Yeah.
What is this drug war doing to the people in your hometown, Monterrey?
Well, I think it's, in Mexico we're very skeptic. We're very how do you say that? Well, we're not really the kind of people that would stick to the rules or would trust their government or would trust their police or would pay their taxes or do their duty to the society. And I think when this whole war started and it made visible just how much corruption there was in the government and the police, it strengthened that skepticism and disbelief on the authorities, which is a really big shame. And it's also causing, I think, a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, and which is a shame because this city used to be a city of hardworking people. It was mostly an industrial city. It's in the middle of the desert, so you had to work hard to make your way. And it's definitely the whole image of the town has also been changed because of this.
So what do you think will happen then with the drug wars?
I don't know. Well, there on the previous presidential elections, the good old political party that used to rule the country for years and years and years, and also succeeded very much on seeing stuff through the fingers and hiding corruption and making everything work. Mm-hmm. Is back. It's back on. They have the power back, so they won the elections, and so it seems like it's going to go back to that, just let everything pass.